2.
Watson takes off 14 yards of the touchdown run. The point after is good. 7-0. Purdue jumps in front of Indiana. Billy Dicken with a touchdown run as well as 14-0. East Carolina against NC State. They rank 100.
We potato pie to him the day before the game. Yes,
more than one.
He said that was the highlight. Beaudry pump fake. Scrambles to the outside. Now he looks, he's throwing it away.
Temperature in the 40s, so we should have a lot of stamina today. Not a lot of heat to take it out of. 2nd and 6. Kentucky's got a lot of folks in the box. They're coming. Manning complete. Marcus Nash almost breaks free.
Nice sweep to the left side. Has the opening and a lead blocker. Goes to the outside. Into the end zone. Does he make it at the corner? It is there for the touchdown. From 11 yards out. Diving right at the corner.
Ryan Bauman on the hole.
Head up. Derek Homer breaks it to the outside. Spun. Kentucky back-to-back running plays. And Homer's into the secondary. Derek Homer on his horse. Inside the 10 and dragged down. Wow. At the Tennessee 7. Down by 10. This time we go to the other back. Anthony White. Nothing there. Good coverage by Corey Gaines. Coming up from his safety. And Manning and Marcus Nash jump up there with their 66-yard strike. But now makes it a little more difficult. 2nd and goal at the 11. Couch on the zip to Jimmy Williams. Kentucky with the 2 tailbacks, Homer and Anthony White. Jimmy Haley is the tight end to the right side. They hand it to White. Picks his way in for a touchdown. Untouched. Anthony White, his 3rd touchdown of the season. And the Wildcats pull close again.
Who are you playing?
2nd down. Zero away the remaining back. Zero away the ball carrier to the left. Defense strings him out along the 40-yard line. Cannot turn the corner. Ivory Covington takes him out of bounds after a gain of 3. Let's check what's going on.
For the Buckeyes. Jackson drops. Throws it. He's got Miller. And Miller has a 1st down for Ohio State. Jackson throws in the middle. There by Woodson.
Mike Bishop, Gavin Parise. Is he in? Yes, 7-0 K-State. Later in the quarter, K-State, known for its defense, Todd Bandauer can't find anybody except Jared Cooper. The running game, Mike Lawrence breaking through the hole, up the middle, 38 yards. It set up another K-State touchdown, 14-0 at that point. Iowa State does get a field goal at home. Right now it is 14-3. Bishop.
NCAA crowd of 105,543 in Ann Arbor. It grew quiet as Ohio State scored 2 touchdowns in the last 3 minutes and 18 seconds to win the ball game 21-14 and send the Buckeyes to the Rose Bowl. Archie Griffin won his 2nd Heisman Trophy that year, though he got just 46 yards in this game. Blitz coming. It's Moore, and they run it inside. Moore can't quite get there in time. And Zeman's going over to attack it. Another loss of body in that offensive front.
These quarterbacks, the only reason their uniforms are dirty is because they've been running to getting tackled.
Right. Brown matched up against Jonas Leaning, one of the outstanding tackles in this league. Anthony White out of the backfield. He's free and out of bounds inside the 30. 5 yards. Kentucky 6 of 8 on 3rd down conversions. Couch looking, pressure. Couch dances free, dumps it out, feels Sanford. He was running backwards when he caught it, so he'll be short of the first. Wide to the near side. Terry Fair right with him. Couch looking, firing, got his man White. Knocked down. Where do they mark it? If it's at the 20, that's a first.
He loses here. The Lions become an Alliance Bowl probability. Joe Germain under pressure throws. It is incomplete. He threw on his way down, and Jim Kimberling says nothing doing. You're down right here at the line of scrimmage.
In the closed end where the students are, Keith, it is the loudest part of the stadium.
Pass completed to Boston. David Boston. Down at the 16 by Ian Golakis. Intercepted. Sam incomplete. Sam Sword almost had it and the ball came out. Ian Gold was the man that touched it first and deflected it. Well, let's watch the play. Listen to this crowd. A record crowd.
No pressure on us, not at all.
Here's 21. Anthony Cleary frequently will lead you to the action. He's the fullback set directly in front of Enos. McQuarrie keeps that defensive line unsettled. Long count. Here's Enos behind Cleary. Wisconsin 3, Penn State nothing. Early going. McQuarrie's going to swing it. Here's Enos. Excellent receiver. Badgers were ready, however. McQuarrie's throwing end zone. Jurevicius touchdown. Penn State. Penn State regains the lead.
Touchdown reception by Joe Jurevicius. That's a great job of forcing the cornerback to respect the fade pattern, and the throw by McQuarrie was right on the numbers. Easy score for Joe Jurevicius.
Pounds the extra point through for Paterno, who's got to feel a lot better. But credit the Penn State defense. After 2 early fumbles, they give up only a field goal. And then McQuarrie drives the Nittany Lions to the go-ahead touchdown. 7-3. We'll be right back.
It on the next down, so it's 3rd down, so he had to stop the clock. Going into the corner, it is caught but out of bounds. 4th down. Goes to the right corner. It is intercepted in the end zone by Notre Dame. Porter, the intended receiver. Deborah Harper has it. No. Replacing Allen Rawson has the interception.
2nd down and 10. Here comes a blitz. Pass caught by Pearsall, the tight end. And he is stopped right at the...
Oh, you're going good, Joe Pa. You're going good, partner.
You know, we talked about the advantage that Wisconsin had in their tall receivers. Joe Jurevicius is 6'5", working against Dante King, who's 5'10", and Jason Doring, and just a great catch and a great throw for Penn State.
So the 42-yard Hail Mary works with 1 second left. And the Nittany Lions will take a 21-3 lead to the locker room because of this catch by Joe Juravicius.
And you got to wonder what Wisconsin is thinking about. There are only 2 defensive backs in the end zone, whereas Penn State had 3 receivers. And the tallest and most talented of them made the grab.
Mike McQuarrie, a senior in his last game. Joe Juravicius, another of the seniors, doing it here on Senior Day for the Nittany Lions. 21-3 as the Badgers cannot take advantage of early mistakes. And Curtis Enos gets it rolling. And how happy is Papa McQuarrie and the big great Dane, Ron Dane, trying to keep the Badgers in it. And we'll have more after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Busby flushed. Busby throws on the run, and it is incomplete. He had Warwick open, but the pass was just...
Rivalry. From our New York studios, John Saunders and Todd Blackledge.
21-3, Penn State has the lead over Wisconsin. Penn State's not going to the Rose Bowl, but they could go to an alliance game, so still a very important matchup for them. The #1 team in the nation, depending on which poll you look at, Florida State has it in the coaches poll, and they have a 17-12 lead over Florida.
Well, Fred Taylor has a touchdown run this game for Florida, but 2 fumbles have been very costly for the Gators' cause at home. Florida State up by 5.
In the AP poll, Michigan is #1, and today they faced Ohio State. Stanley Jackson just makes a bad decision here.
A case of a quarterback just trying to make too big of a play. He's trying to avoid the sack, but he throws it right into the stomach of Andre Weathers, who takes it back 45 yards for the touchdown for Michigan. A costly turnover for Stanley Jackson.
Michigan had a 20-0 lead. Now, we will have much more on this one coming up a little bit later. We'll hear from Todd. But they get the victory, 20-14 the final. So Michigan is going to the Rose Bowl unbeaten. UCLA, well, that could have been one of the teams they would face, facing USC today. Skip Hicks, 16 yards on the touchdown run, 54 career touchdowns in the Pac-10. That's the most, breaking Charles White's record. UCLA is tied up with USC at 21 apiece.
A lot of offense in this game. USC broke a 16-game losing streak in South Bend to Notre Dame earlier this year, trying to break a 6-game losing streak against their crosstown rivals today.
If the Bruins get the win and Washington State loses, UCLA goes to the Rose Bowl against Michigan. But Washington State still with a chance as well. This one is Ryan Leaf to Chris Jackson, 57 yards on the touchdown. 14-7. Washington State could go whether they won or lost. In a 3-way tie, they go just the same.
Washington State explosive offense. Mike Black, their tailback, also has added an 8-yard touchdown run in this ball game.
Washington State on the 3-yard line as well late in this first half, looking for a 21 to Sierra Ward. He's had a terrific season facing Indiana today. Jason Spear fumbles and Lee Johnson recovers, returns at 36 yards for the touchdown. Purdue led 21-7, and Joe Taylor has done a terrific job.
Yeah, Billy Dickin, the quarterback, a touchdown run and a touchdown pass in this ball game. Elsewhere in the Big Ten, Michigan State 27-17 over Illinois, and Iowa blanks Minnesota 31-0.
All right, let's take a look at some scores from the WAC as well. New Mexico with a big lead on Tulsa as Graham Lee has 4 touchdown passes. Brian McKenzie 2 touchdown runs in that Utah-BYU game. And Benji Wood 2 touchdown runs as Rice leads UTEP 21-10.
A pain in your ass, so now I feel a lot better that I'm up here.
All right, a great day in the lifetime of a father and a son. Their names, Greasy.
Well, that's really a great moment for dad and son, Greasy. And, you know, Michigan would not be where they are today without Charles Woodson or without Brian Greasy. He made great decisions all year long. He ran that offense. Michigan beat 6th-ranked opponents throughout this season. They deserve to be where they're at. Brian Greasy had an outstanding season.
Now, Charles Woodson in that game, a big statement for the Heisman Trophy race. So Peyton Manning wouldn't have the same type audience as Charles Woodson would, but how would he respond against Tim Couch and Kentucky? Pierre hooking up with Marcus Nash, 31 yards on this touchdown, 45-24 at that point. Well, Peyton Manning did have a pretty good statement day as well. 25 of 35, 523 yards, and 5 touchdowns, tying his own school record.
Yeah, really 2 very good quarterbacks in this ball game, but in this case, the senior put on a little clinic for the sophomore. Tim Couch will be back, but a great game for Peyton Manning today. The 5 touchdowns and over 500 yards passing.
999 yards passing in that game.
very least, they could get into position for a long field goal try. With this fast break offense, perhaps even better than that. Oh, that pass almost picked off by Javon Curse. It was a Santen. Miner puts his head down and is down with a first down at the 33. Keith, 1:25 left in the half. One timeout left for Florida State. The Noles trailed by a point. Busby going long for Warwick. Batted down on a great defensive play by Weary. Busby hit as he delivers. It is intercepted. Tico Brown across midfield. And down at the 34-yard line. Ed Chester put the hit on Busby as he delivered. And Brown ran it back 25 yards at the 30-yard line. Curtis Enos still going. Touchdown! Curtis Enos takes it the distance for the Nittany Lions. 78 yards.
Is Tom Burke takes himself out of the play by stunning inside. Then Demetrius Brown can't make the tackle. But this is the most impressive thing. Dante King's got the angle, but he doesn't have the strength to take down big number 39.
One of the great runs of the season. Curtis Enos, 78 yards. Forney pounds in the extra point. The workhorse. The longest run of the season for the Nittany Lions, and it opens up a 25-point lead. Could this be his last game ever in Beaver Stadium? Will he go to the NFL next year? Stay tuned. His name is Curtis Enos. Curtis Enos never lets you down. No one's prouder than Papa right now. Watching here, Nittany Lions kick it off. At the 14-yard line.
Curtis Enos is now over 100 yards for the 7th consecutive time. And watch as we roll this one. He's going to get a great block downfield by his wide receiver, Joe Jurevicius. 83 right there. He takes care of Doring. And now the speed of Enos and the strength is what sets him apart from most runners in this country.
That was great balance along that sideline.
He came real close to going out of bounds, didn't he? So we had strength.
Count him out down there. He's lost only twice. 2-yard line. And the Nittany Lions get down with the defensive line, that big young offensive line. Dane in there with Martin. Martin goes in motion. Samuel to throw on 4th down. Sprints right. Covered, blocked, incomplete. Nittany Lions ball. The defense stands tall again. Ascari Adams, the freshman free safety, number 18.
It's not bad.
Who's the last time you... 2nd and 5. Florida State down by 5 points. 5.5 minutes left, 3rd quarter. Miner got hit and stayed on his feet. Touchdown! Travis Miner, what a run! Back and forth we go. 3 possessions in the second half. Florida State has had it twice and has scored 2 touchdowns. Florida's had it once and has scored a touchdown. Now Florida State goes for 2.
Sean, you have 2 big play guys. Peter Warwick, number 9, and E.G. Green, 19. They've been the guys all year.
To the short side, Miner slipped and couldn't pick it back up again. Keith Kelsey wrapped him up. Bo Carroll, the tailback, lined up to the left. Here comes a blitz. Johnson dumps it off, incomplete. Close enough to Carroll that it was not grounding. Sam Coward came on the blitz, 13. A minute and a half played in the 3rd and the 4th quarter. And again, there's confusion. Now they have to burn a timeout with the play clock down to 2. Confusion reigns for Florida.
Seconds bringing it back with the shampoo that conditions too, Pert Plus. Because Jennifer wants great hair with plenty of time for other things. Don't you? Pert Plus. Simply great hair. Simple.
They may have had a deep pass called and didn't want to throw it down there.
3rd and 13 after Florida burned a timeout. Johnson going for it all, looking for Green, and it is incomplete. Looked like Roll had the first opportunity for it, and then it might have glanced off Jock.
Nick Indilio got down on his knee and he said, "Will you marry me?" Now Christine came back and said yes. So now the Lion's going to growl just a little bit louder, Dan Fouts, for the rest of this game, and maybe till death do them part.
Let's certainly hope so.
Here's the running back is Chris Everly.
Is this the first marriage between a lion and a wolf in Beaver Stadium?
You never know what you're going to find in Happy Valley. I wonder if Jack ever proposed at halftime of a football game.
Not yet.
He's had several opportunities. 35-10. Complete. Sam Crenshaw, the wide receiver, takes it all the way to the 45-yard line. Kevin Thompson, big youngster.
Well, that's the reason Florida State has gone in reverse. They were up over 100. That pass is caught. The Feast Kareem takes the pass from Johnson. He's down at the 16-yard line. Dexter Jackson looked like he was in perfect position to pick it off, but Kareem made a great adjustment. He was in position.
Final 30 seconds. Dawkins out of bounds. 35-10, Penn State beats Wisconsin. Joe Paterno, victory number 298. If he can win against Michigan State and then capture the bowl game, it would be 300 victories for Joe Pa. What a career. 35-10, and you know what the first thing is Joe will have to say? He'll ask Barry Alvarez about that injured wide receiver. His thoughts will go out too. Meanwhile, as far as the Nittany Lions were concerned, McQuarrie, Enos, the McQuarrie family, and a long day for Coach Alvarez. For Dan Fouts and Jack Arute, I'm Brent Musburger. So long, everybody.
All right, Brent, thanks a lot. We're going to give you some bonus coverage of this game. UCLA.
1:22 remaining in regulation play. 9th-ranked UCLA hoping for a trip to the Rose Bowl, leading 31-24. But thanks to a recovered onside kick by the Trojans.
Well, maybe it will go to Sauer. Billy Miller told first-year offensive coordinator Hugh Jackson he wants it. We'll see where it goes.
Miller goes right, Sauer to the bottom of your screen to the left. Final gasp for the Trojans. It's 4th and 20. For Miller. Intercepted. And the Bruins' opportunity to go back to their home turf on January 1st, very much alive.
You know what? Billy Miller had a chance. If this ball was thrown a little farther, Serwanga read the...
Lamar Glenn checks in at wingback. He's a reserve fullback. 3rd and goal from the 2. Minor running right. Stopped at the 2-yard line. Johnny Rutledge, Dwayne Thomas, Willie Rogers, all in on the play for Florida. 20-yard field goal. Janikowski booms it through. And now it's perhaps on this drive. Could be a last chance opportunity for Florida with 2:33 remaining. Gators start at their own 20. Johnson lofts it deep. Green is behind the defense. He's at the 35. He's at the 25. And he's tackled at the 17-yard line by Tay Cody. Johnson remains at quarterback. Draw play to Taylor. Big hole left. Taylor may go. Fred Taylor out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Taylor, the lone back. 1st and goal at the 1. Taylor to the end zone. Touchdown! They went 80 yards in 3 plays. Perhaps too quickly. Louder than it has been all day with the Gators on defense. Busby running for his life. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. And the clock runs. Three sacks for the Gators. It has taken the Seminoles a while to line up for this play. 2nd and 11. Busby has a man. Bad pass might have been deflected en route. It was intended for E.G. Green. Make 10 yards. Busby with a 4-man rush. Throws. Intercepted. Dwayne Thomas. Johnson takes a knee. Now tempers flare. Deafening noise being made by the Gator fans, and you have the feeling they're cheering just as loud in the state of Michigan for this play.
Watch number 52, Dwayne Thomas. He drops in zone coverage, plays the curl route to perfection. He dropped an earlier interception in this game, but he didn't drop that one. And Bob Stoops, the defensive coordinator, you got to give him a little credit. He's played zone and man all afternoon, and his defense has hung on against the #1 team in the country in the Coaches Bowl.
Florida State just used its last timeout. Brandeis takes the final snap. And Florida still alive for an Alliance Bowl. A huge victory. Sealed by Thomas's interception.
When the day began. In this one, quarterback Brock Hewitt back. Ray Jackson. One of 3 interceptions for Hewitt in the half. That led to this. Chris Jackson on the receiving end of the 57-yard Ryan Leaf touchdown pass. So Ray Jackson with the interception, his brother Chris with the touchdown. 14-7, Washington State. Third quarter, they're up 10. Tony Parrish. Leap from his end zone, picked off on a floater. 33 yards later, touchdown. Huskies all the way back at 24-21. Still in the third, same score, Leap. And it came down to the fact that neither defense could stop the other offense. Jackson again, 50 yards. Wazoo back up by 10, 31-21. Washington adds a touchdown, but Washington State adds 10 more points. They're up 41-28. A victory here, and the Rose Bowl will be set. It would be Washington.
Holmes is ready. Good pass, and his kick is good. So let's take a timeout. 7 minutes. Clock is still. Kitchens throws back to him right over the middle. Cuts it back into the middle. He's going to be tackled at the 20.
pressure up the middle. Craig drills it. Couldn't hold on at the goal line. Good pass. Kicked on the way, and he's got it. 3 of 3 tonight. 27 yards, 37 yards, and now add 31 yards. So let's go away from
top-ranked Michigan. The Wolverines completed a perfect regular season with a 20-14 win over number 4 Ohio State. Charles Woodson sparked the Wolverines, returning a punt 78 yards for a score. Michigan will now head off to the Rose Bowl in search of its first national title since 1948. The Big Ten champs will face the Pac-10 champs, and that's Washington State. The 11th-ranked Cougars earned their first Rose Bowl berth in 67 years with a 41-35 win over number 17 Washington. For the second straight season, Florida has ended Florida State's bid for a national title. The 10th-ranked Gators rallied to beat the second-ranked Seminoles 32-29 as Florida's Fred Taylor rushed for 162 yards and 4 touchdowns. His final score with under 2 minutes left was the difference. In a game that featured over 1,300 yards of offense, 5th-ranked Tennessee beat Kentucky 59-31. Peyton Manning threw for a school record 523 yards and 5 touchdowns to lead the Volunteers to their 13th straight win over the Wildcats. Elsewhere in the top 25, Penn State rolled over Wisconsin, while UCLA edged Southern Cal. North Carolina fell behind early before racking up 50 straight points against Duke. At 10-1, Kansas State concludes its best regular season in 87 years. Auburn wins the annual Iron Bowl battle with Alabama. Robert Edwards ran for 180 yards to lead Georgia. Arkansas and Pittsburgh pull off upsets. The Irish climb back over the 500 mark, while Purdue rolled along.
For a share of the Big Ten title in the first quarter, Mike McQueary finds Joe Juravicius for the 21-yard touchdown. McQueary completed his first 12 passes. Coming up. Wow, last play of the first half. McQueary rolls right, and this is a Hail Mary.
There's the Hail Mary.
And Juravicius will answer it. 42 yards for the touchdown. McQueary, 2 touchdowns, 219 yards in the first half alone. Take a second look. Juravicius here leaps over the Wisconsin defenders to make the touchdown. He caught 4 balls for 101 yards. Third quarter now. First play after Penn State stopped Wisconsin on 4th down. Curtis Enos is gone. 78 yards for the touchdown. He would rush for 138 yards. And Penn State would get the win. They remain in position for a major bowl bid after they beat up on Wisconsin. The Nittany Lions improved to 9-1 on the season and 6-1 in the Big Ten, while Wisconsin falls to 8-4 overall.
Brock Heward intercepted by Lamont Thompson. Thompson's 3rd INT of the game. Heward picked off 5 times. Leaf throws to who can blame him. The Cougars go to Pasadena for the first time since 1931, taking this one 41-35.
Getting publicity all year long, but it's really all about them. All about them, not me. I'm amazed, man. It's been our dream since we came out here. And it's so special. I'm never going to forget it. And I'll see everybody down in Pasadena.
So now that the Cougars have ended their 67-year Rose Bowl drought, who's next? As far as for the victory bell, we pick it up in the 3rd quarter, tied at 14. That is when the Tar Heels break it open. Chris Keldorf to Octavius Barnes, 59-yard TD. Keldorf, 19 for 32. Carolina in front, 21-14. Still in the 3rd, Duke QB David Green, picked off by Kivosama Mays. One of 5 interceptions on the day for North Carolina. Fred Goldsmith says, don't do that again. But really too late for that, because Keldorf here hits Nay Brown high. 1 of 6 grabs for him. UNC scores 50 straight points, and they win it 50-14. It was Carolina's 8th straight win over the Blue Devils and capped just the 5th 10-win season in the school's history. Alliance hopeful Kansas State in Ames to take 19th-ranked Mississippi State, visiting the Hogs. 2nd quarter, Arkansas driving. Clint Storner to Emmanuel Smith, picks up 20 on the play. 3 plays later, it's Storner to Anthony Lucas, 7-yard touchdown, 7-0 Arkansas. 4th quarter, Bulldogs down 17-7. They're on the move. Matt Wyatt, who was just 11 for 34, throws deep into double coverage. That's never a good idea. Antrea Moss, a nice interception, and Arkansas gets a huge win for him.
On 2nd quarter, tied at 7, Amos Zeraway breaks through for a 60-yard run, a career day for the sophomore. 234 yards for the sophomore tailback, born in the Ivory Coast. Set up a touchdown, 14-7 West Virginia. Now we're tied at 14 in the 4th quarter. Ron Paulos back to pass, hits Bobby Brown, 11 yards for the touchdown. Paulus, 9 of 17, 156 yards, 21-14 Irish. Last chance for the Mountaineers, Mark Bulger. lofts one for Sean Foreman. And he will make the catch in the end zone, but he was out of bounds, although he did catch 6 balls on the day. And for the first time since their season-opening win over Georgia Tech, the Notre Dame football team is over the 5 quarter, 14-7 Purdue, and Jay Rogers hands to Jason Spears. He fumbles right into the hands of Lee Johnson, and he is off to the races. 36 yards for the touchdown. Purdue up 21-7. And they go on to win and get the coveted Oaken bucket, the symbol of in-state football rivalry with the Hoosiers, as they finish the regular season with a winning record for the first time in 13 years. The Boilermakers now 6-2 in the Big Ten as Indiana falls to 2-9 despite 342 passing yards from Jay Rogers, which is a record for the 100-game series against the Boilermakers.
In the WAC, CSU up 7-3. Frank Rice, his first career TD reception, 41 yards, and gives the ball to Pops. Third quarter, Colorado State up 31-3 now. Jamie Bennett picks it off, takes it back for the TD.
Come on, we might be losing, but we're gotta love it, baby. Yeah.
It's quite a routine. Colorado State wins the WAC Pacific Division title and a berth in the championship game against New Mexico with a 38-17 win that was available for your viewing pleasure right here on ESPN. The Rams have won 17 of their last 18 conference games on the road. Virginia Tech and Pittsburgh Hokies looking to clinch a share of the Big East title. Anthony Midget looming large in the third quarter with Pitt up 15-6, takes it back for the TD. Virginia Tech down just 2. Fourth quarter, 23-16 Panthers. Pete Gonzalez to Kevin Barlow, 56 yards for the TD, and the Berg pulls off the upset. Panthers win it by 7, one of the biggest wins in recent memory for that program, and it was no fluke. They outgained the Hokies by nearly 200 yards, a loss that likely cost Tech the $7 million that would have come with an Alliance Bowl. Now in Minnesota, battling for the Floyd of Rosedale Trophy. Third quarter, Hawkeyes already up 17-zip. It's Tim Dwight, the nation's leading punt returner, 44 yards for the TD. Iowa wins at 31-zip, and they get the trophy, which is a pig. And there it is. Cal at Stanford, the 100th. Big game, Chad Hutchinson with the Cardinal up 13-7, dumping it to Troy Walters. 36-yard touchdown. Stanford in front 21-7. They win the big game. Not to be confused with the game, 21-20, because Harvard and Yale is the game as we head to New Haven, Connecticut. Harvard looking to take a bite out of Yale and the Bulldogs, but it didn't happen. Chris Bennick, 22 carries, 167 yards. He gets into the end zone. His 14th TD of the season. Set the single-season rushing record for the Crimson. More Harvard now. Rich Linden, it was 12 for 19 to Jared Chipila. Nice move, gets into the end zone. Harvard up 14-zip. They win it 7.